Welcome to Game of the Month, a new series that will be released, you guessed it, yearly. I figured this would be a quick and easy way to talk about games I enjoy without having to make a 10+ minute video and crunching the hell out of it. Is it going to happen consistently? Well, if we're going off my upload schedule, then the answer would be no! But we're going to try to stick to this routine. Given the nature of the games industry, some months are going to be pretty dry and some are going to be sopping wet, like June of 2025. A new Nintendo console, a new Mario Kart, a new FNAF game. Arxis is doing a Marvel fighting game. There is so much happening this month. However, if you've known me for more than 3 minutes, you can probably guess what my game of the month is. In fact, you can probably guess what my game of the year is. It's no secret that Deltarune is a series I hold very near and dear to my heart. I struggle to find the words to describe it, and even if I could, this video would end up being 8 hours long. But just know, as soon as I played Chapter 2 and entered the cyber world back in 2021, everything about this game just clicked for me. Deltarune makes me nostalgic for periods of time I barely remember. The freedom of the internet, the wonder of television, the magic of a church. It scratches my brain in just the right areas. The characters are spectacular, the writing is phenomenal, the environments are magical, the combat is rich, and I can't say anything about the music because I've run out of synonyms for good. Deltarune is one of those games that I just can't do a full video on, because it would be the biggest project I've ever done. So instead, I'm just going to focus on what was released recently, that being Chapters 3 and 4 of Deltarune. It's fantastic. Deltarune's writing and charm hasn't skipped a beat since Chapter 2. Toby Fox has been using this formula for 10 years now, and he's still finding new and interesting ways to iterate upon it. Let's start the way most things start. At the beginning. Tenna is literally everything I hope for in a Chapter 3 villain, and then some. He's oozing personality out of every orifice, he's funny, he's menacing, and his theme music makes me want to drive the opposite direction on the highway while going fast enough to go through time. As soon as I saw his unique text dialogue, I knew I was going to see this man bent like a straw on my Twitter feed. Boards and minigames are such a fun mechanic, and they get so much comedic mileage out of it. The rhythm minigames are my personal favorite, and I would love to have more songs playable in the future as you complete more chapters. And oh my god, who ordered the Studiopolis? The environments are gorgeous as always, but just shut up, we'll get to that later. All you need to know is that this chapter has more style in it than Tony the Hawk. Then, after getting S ranks on both boards and minigames, we get something truly special. Oh my god, the secret route? I've never been more creeped out in any of the chapters than the secret route of Chapter 3. Playing a game within a game where you have to kill your friends to level up before entering the secret bunker in the light world, all the while Chris is fucking mortified? Mwah, chef's sloppy tongue kiss. And actually recruiting Noelle in the game and freezing enemies in a similar way to Birdley and Snowgrave was honestly chilling. Laugh. And the secret boss continues that almost creepypasta-like energy. Jevil and Spamton Neo were phenomenal big bads, but they were like fireworks. They were short-lived, had a massive boom, fizzled out, and then had a sweepstakes centered around them. The secret route of Chapter 3 feels so much more ominous. Eram, or Aram, or whatever this fucking thing is, isn't a stylish businessman or a colorful clown that feels endearing and silly despite the existential dread. They're this vague shadow entity whose dialogue creates more questions than answers. And that ending, oh, sweet, sweet Kenyon, that ending. In true Deltarune fashion, the main villain's arc is concluded, everything is hunky-dory, and then the plotometer is cranked to 11 and all hell breaks loose. The sudden reveal of the Roaring Knight is truly insane. I absolutely adore when there's a big boss with a sense of finality, and then something comes in and completely wipes it, and it's like, oh shit, if that boss was tough, this guy must be cracked. As soon as I heard their theme, Black Knife, and realized the percussion was similar to Azrael's boss fight in Undertale, I just knew we were in for a treat. Deltarune's villains are always threatening, but again, tend to be pretty jovial, and at the very least open to conversation. Even the more serious and intimidating bosses will give you a good old whiff of their personality and motive. But the knight is just silent. Well, except for... What is he, some kind of roaring knight? And hey, Smash Bros. Reveals might be kaput for now, but Deltarune captured the energy of revealing a new fighter perfectly, with blue energy spears hitting the knight before revealing, holy shit, Undyne! Wait, no, get back here! Who's gonna bond with Susie and help her realize her potential in the narrative now? Then we chase it through the light world, it ends up in the bunker, we can't get in, and then it opens at the last minute. And that was Chapter 3. It feels like a direct continuation of Chapter 2 in setting, tone, characters, all that. On the other hand, Chapter 4 feels unlike anything else in Deltarune or Undertale. Chapter 3 started us off in a new dark world and never really gave us time to chill out in the light world. It's understandable given the plot, but it only makes sense for Chapter 4 to give us some breathing room in the light world. And breathe room it does. First of all, it's revealed that this church isn't based on any real religions. I mean, it's definitely based on, like, Catholic churches and Sunday school and all that, but the people in this church believe in the legend of the Deltarune. It's such a minute detail, but I just find it really fascinating to think about. We get plenty of casual antics with Susie, and especially Noelle! They really made up for lost time with her, because this is the most Noelle content we've gotten in a while. Obviously, the heart segment in the vents is one of the highlights of this chapter. There's something so foreboding about this silent heart traveling around with everyone oblivious to its true nature. After a bit of shenanigans, you learn a bit about Des and meet Noelle's mom, who thinks it just isn't natural. Then the plot finally begins to pick up as we enter the next dark world. This chapter is nothing short of majestic. Probably the most important lore-wise, with the threat of a prophecy that's not fully known to us, and the knight still running amok causing problems. This chapter's tone feels so much more serious. Unlike the neon-lit cities or bustling TV studios, the church feels retrospective and calm. As someone who was brought up on that Catholic grind set, the religious motifs in this chapter really hit close to home with me. It reminds me of being a little kid, covering up my ears because the church music was too loud, but still hearing the echoes of the choir through my hands. The music of this area is especially phenomenal, with the new battle theme being one of my personal favorites. Now it's time to get into more spoilery territories. Skip this timestamp if you want. Wait a minute, that's not a timestamp! How did this get in here? Let me just... Anyways, like I said before, the vibes are definitely off in Chapter 4. It feels a lot darker, and there's a certain feeling of shit's getting real that isn't present in other chapters. But Deltarune is renowned for its goofs and gaffs, so how do you balance this darker-than-dark atmosphere and the comedy the series is known for? Well, you bring in Gerson. Gerson Boom has got to be the biggest glow-up any character has gotten in their transition from Undertale to Deltarune. Going from nothing more than a quirky shopkeeper whose biggest achievement was raising Undyne and foreshadowing Deltarune, to a bona fide icon. Susie always has the best character dynamics, bouncing off of Lancer, Noelle, and especially Gerson really well. The secret bosses in each chapter continue to feel unique from each other, both in how you get to them and how the actual fight goes. And that's especially true with Chapter 4. Gerson's boss fight is a blast, and the way he shows up at the last minute to help you beat the final boss is just so goddamn hype. And it goes without saying that Susie making a new Dark World and essentially remixing the old one is such an inventive twist. You were moving blocks around by playing a piano before, but now you ride the block and blast through anything in your way. It's clear that Susie's explosive personality had an effect on this Dark World, and that's so fucking cool to think about. And then there's the Titan fight. It's fine. I mean, it's cool to finally see the Titan, but the climbing segment kind of drags on after playing it once, and the fight itself feels like it could use a few... Holy fucking shit, here comes Gerson with the steel chair! And there's still a bunch of little things I missed. I love Rule shenanigans in Chapter 3, the Jackenstein boss, the mic fight that uses your actual microphone and mouse to control the game. God, this game fucks hard. Toby Fox has breathed so much life into this universe that you can twist it and turn it in any direction and still make it fun and innovative. You can throw anything at these characters and you'll still get a fun interaction. Deltarune's story, world, characters, gameplay, music, art direction all flourish to make this game an unparalleled masterpiece. Even if there are still 3 chapters left that haven't been released at the time of this video, I can confidently say that it's only going to get better from here. Until then, take care, and I'll see you next month.